Are the transformational catalysts in our world today. And the world needs a lot of healing, our vision, our strength, and new approaches. And Women Speakers Association is at the forefront, helping women to transform the world. So today, I'm Laura Rubenstein, your host and producer of WSA TV, here with the founder of Women Speakers Association, Gail Watson. We're going to talk about this, Gail, right?
We are. I was just sharing it into the broadcast. Yeah, we are. I love this topic because we have a full community of women doing just that.
So let's start off with letting everybody know, what is the vision of Women Speakers Association, and how does that vision and the mission empower women who are transforming the world?
All right. Well, the vision in Women Speakers Association since day one has been to really help women step in, find and own their message, to really to be able to authentically express themselves and to feel the empowerment of, yeah, you know what? My message matters. And with that, and how we move into our mission is to give women platform. It's why we've become that number one visibility platform for women in this world, is to give that message a home, a place where it can reach the people that it needs to reach, and to make that impact that message has meant to offer.
And to that effect, I mean, when you say platform, what goes through my mind is two things, two general categories. One is within the community of Women Speakers Association, and maybe three. One is within. The second one is training on how to expand out, and the third is really supporting in people getting out beyond the reach of the community. So one of those is the book. We have the Voices book that we've done. Why don't you cover a little bit about what that is and the history of it?
Okay, Voices of the 21st Century is the book. It's a series. It started, 6 years ago. And it is a platform. And in today's world, when we say platform, like you said, it could be a variety of things. Typically we used to think it's the big stage, lights, camera, action, but platforms of today is the internet. It's doing your webinars, it's doing your podcasts, it's doing your clubhouses, anywhere that you can get in front of people, that's your platform. The classroom, the boardroom, right? The stage, virtual or live. So I just want to give that definition of platform. So another way is through books, right? We all know the power of books. One thing I love about the last couple of years is people have got back into reading. Books are more powerful than ever. They are a place where your message can remain evergreen, touch the lives of people you don't even know. And so with how we've leveraged the platform of Women Speakers Association, a global reach in 120 countries, over 120 countries, we've added this book, and we call it Voices of the 21st Century. And every year we theme it, and we collect stories from our members, and we put them out there in the world. And so our members can leverage those things. This year, or coming up in February 23, we are looking for stories right now of transformation, because it is women. I mean, we meet them every single day here. It is women who are transforming the world with their message. They're putting it into the book, and we're just helping to get it in the hands of people who need to hear it.
And I want to clarify something, what you just said. Who are these women who are transforming the world that show up in our books, the 30, 40, 50 author books here that they can leverage?
Who are these women? They're you. They're your us everyday woman. And one of the initial, I was just coming to me now, is one of the original motivators of starting Voices of the 21st Century, going back to that first book, was a conversation around we celebrities can get their message out, the big names out there can get their message out. But what about us everyday people? Now, we've all been gifted with a message, everybody, and it's inside of us. And how do we get our message out into a book that can go around the world and you can become an international best-selling? How do we do that? Well, that's what Voices of the 21st Century is. It's a vehicle to do that.
Yeah, I totally agree that, what I love and why I said 30, 40, and 50 authors at a time in each book, it leverages. So I have a story to tell you. My sister called me up one day. She found the book on her shelf years after I had gifted it to her or she had bought it. And she's called me up crying. I'm like, why are you crying? And she said, I'm so sorry. I never read your story before and I didn't realize. And oh my gosh. And it transformed our relationship just out of her reading that story. And that's close to home. But if it can transform her life, it's probably transformed other people's lives that I'll never know about.
Yeah, you're so right about, and I've personally experienced that. Like, wow, I had no idea, or some of the things that come out. But what's even more beautiful is just, I know the power of the book. I've heard story after story after story after story of how this book has, in one case, saved my life. How this has really helped me do something. How I feel like I really needed that message to move me to that next stage. But what I really enjoy, my most favorite part of when when we collect our authors and get those stories and we all get together and we get to know each other and then we launch and it's all exciting and fun. The launch day, the launch that you conduct, Laura is our project manager when it comes to Voices of the 21st Century. What's really beautiful is I'm listening to everybody share their story and how they have really stepped into their being, their message. They hold that message true. Whereas right now, some of the authors that we're meeting that have come into the book are nervous. Is this okay? I don't want to ruffle feathers of people who are going to read this or some, whatever it is, whatever is influencing what's in their mind. But I know that I'll talk to them in February and they're just going to be standing strong in their truth. And they're going to believe in themselves. And the honor of sharing this experience with them is getting to witness their personal transformation. I know that they own it now. They found their voice, they own it. And now, without a shadow of a doubt, they're ready to put it out there in all sorts of different ways. So really proud of them when they're at that point and just love witnessing that.
And that's a huge difference from a lot of other books that are anthologies where you just put your story in and they give you copies of the book.
Yeah.
We don't just do that. It's a whole transformative process that the authors go through during that because we train you on how to leverage your book. We put your name on the book and
on the front cover.
Yeah, on the front cover and your picture on the back cover. So there's your picture, your name on the spine. And there's something that happens when you have that ownership of it and when you have the know-how of how to leverage it to go out and get media in your local area and nationally, when you know how to get sponsors, when you know how to use it to bring in more income and leverage it. And why do you know that? Because through this transformational process, Gail brings in trainers to train you on this. And I make sure that training is available for all the authors and that they're able to ask the questions and get the support they need and buddy up with another author and do this not in a silo, but do this as a community and in collaboration.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's the key word here is collaboration. If we use the old word, I think it's the old language of anthology, it gets put into a category that this is, oh yeah, been there, done that, right? This is not that experience at all. Ask the authors who've been involved. It is a true collaboration from authors coming together really standing in ownership as a co-author of this book. That's why your name is on the front. So you can stand up and say, I'm co-author. I bring my message along with 49 other women from around the world sharing their stories of transformation. We collaborate in the marketing and learning. That's why we all learn together. We collaborate as a team in teaching and helping and supporting one another. So, and that collaboration doesn't end there. I mean, Laura, you know the group, more than anyone, where everybody's working together, putting together interviews, tours, virtual type gatherings, and just still having fun and celebrating. And it doesn't stop just as soon as the book launches and then it stops the next day. It keeps going, and we want it to keep going year after year after year after year.
And that's where it actually starts when the book is
Yeah.
published and launched. That's the journey. And the whole idea is to elevate women so they can transform the world. And we need to stop working in silos. And this is just an extraordinary opportunity to work in community, to get that support, to feel like you are lifted up and you are safe in the world, and you have a support network that, when you go put yourself out there, if you need to come back and get, some coddling or cuddling, virtual, nurturing, I should say, you've got that. You've got a network of women in Women's Speakers Association with amazing resources, amazing wisdom, talent, and ability to help propel you to where you want to go and the transformation you want to make. So if you're up to making a difference and you're like, have all kinds of reasons in your head talking at you, but this, but that, you got all kinds of buts in your head, get the butt out of your head and go have a conversation with you, Gail, because that's another differentiator. When you want to put your story in this, you don't just get to say, I want to put my story in this. You got to say, here's my idea, and here's, maybe you don't even have an idea, but I think what you're saying is for me. Well, have a conversation with Gail. If you go to voicesofthe21stcentury.com, that's the application process, which means you fill out a form and you get on a call with Gail. And Gail, what happens on that call?
Well, we just simply discuss, explore the many messages that are in you, usually like, how do I pick which one? And then we really what I do is I'll ask you some questions about, what's your goals? How do you see using this book? And then, because everybody's experience is different, everybody's motivation for coming in is different. You have your message, that's great. So and so these are just conversations about how to choose the right message and what is the best fit for you. I like what you just said, Laura, about, if you're out there working in a silo and things like that. I mean, isn't that what the last 2 years have been about? We have been alone. We have been working alone. And this is a phenomenal opportunity to be able to connect. And I remember one of our authors, it was just outside of 2020. That's when it was more of a really strong lockdown everywhere. She said, wow, while the whole world was locked down, I came out with 49 new friends. I was just like, wow, that's exactly, because we were working together as a team. We were all connecting. We were all getting to know each other. We were doing things together. And then we weren't working in silos.
Nope.
We kept going, right?
Yeah. In fact, we came out with that 2020 book, I think in May, and worked together to promote it. To everybody felt really connected as a team. And I think the silo thing has been going on for way longer than 2 years. With, when you get a good idea and you want to make a difference, how do you go do it? You kind of try and do it all on your own, but women work best in collaboration. Yes. And when you can either bring that team together or join that team, and bring your best, talents, wisdom, stories to that, there's no stopping you. We just got you. We got your back. And we're like, I said in one of my stories, is we have your heart.
Yes, we have your heart.
We have your heart. So, and if you want to read that, you'll have to buy one of the books.
So we are looking for stories of transformation. And so Ask yourself, has something transformed in your life that's made a difference to you? And now you want to share that with the world, with
Yeah.
somebody else on this planet who needs to hear it, and help them transform their life. Maybe it's been another person in your life that's transformed your world, right? Our world, I mean, when we think of a world, we think of the globe, the planet. But our world can be us. I was just speaking to one of our members who is coming into this book. She was sharing how she shed a significant amount of weight in 18 months. She has transformed her world, her life. And now she's so passionate about helping others do the exact same thing that she did, to be able to influence and provide and help you put those gifts into your life to transform your world, your life. That's what it's about. It can be just that one person who needs to hear your message, how you can change their life. So we are looking for stories of transformation
And I
right
just
now.
want to highlight what you just said, because people think they have their own individual transformations and they don't know what to do with them, or they don't do anything about it other than enjoy their own transformation, which is wonderful. And if you want to stop there, that's fine. But if there's something in you that says, boy, other people might be able to benefit from this, or somebody out there might just need a piece of wisdom that you acquired along the way, your individual transformation can make a difference in the world. So consider that. What are the transformations you've had? Doesn't matter when, could have been 20 years ago, could have been yesterday, could be tomorrow. We are constantly having things happen that if somebody knew the wisdom or the technique or the perspective that you have, and it would make a difference for them, consider sharing it as a story somewhere. Ideally with us. We love that at voicesofthe21stcentury.com, because your voice matters. And that is the mission that we live into, that Gail, you've put out there in the world.
But yeah, it's so important. And I mean, you're listening right now. You have been gifted with your message. So if you need help finding it, exploring it, register voicesofthe21stcentury.com. We will get on a call and we'll talk about it, and we'll see the different opportunities, what you can do with that message, right? If it's a fit, great. We'll talk about getting your story into the book. But the bottom line is, we want to we are a platform here, a platform to decide the best way to help you where that message can best serve. So, or to help you even find that message. Really important too. And that can sometimes be the hardest part, is just finding it or picking which one. We all have lots of stories in them, but the big thing is just to get rid of sometimes those voices that say, well, who wants to hear my message? And well, yeah, it changed my life, but
I
I
can't
don't think it's
write.
worthy of it, worthy of a book or something like that. That's what you want to, if you're hearing that, then we need to talk for sure. And oh, the writing, I can't write. Yeah. Hey, I can't write. So what's wonderful is when stories come in, you're working one-on-one with our copy editor, who's a beautiful soul. She's so amazing, and her job is to make you look good, and her job is to keep you in your true authentic voice. And she's amazing because she just knows little tweaks and little things here that really bring together the story. And I really appreciate her. So
Yeah. She makes it so easy that if you have any challenges with, how you're going to say something, it will easily transform. I did a training also for the authors on how to figure out which story to go with, and do some idea generation and ideation. And that is available for replay for any of our authors. And then our wonderful editor is available throughout the journey as soon as you have your idea and a few words put down on paper. So I love that we're talking about women transforming the world. That is the subtitle of this Voices book, Voices of the 21st Century, Women Transforming the World, because we are women and we do transform the world one story at a time with this book. And I can't wait to meet new authors. So if you're considering, book yourself a time with Gail by going to women speakers, by going to voicesofthe21stcentury.com. And the 21st is 21 ST. And we'll see you in the book. We have a room for how many authors?
14 as of right now.
Woohoo! So we're filling up. Remember, we run this book with about 40 to 50 authors. So we'll see you in the book. I cannot wait to read your story, to work with you, to give you that platform that allows you to make a difference in so many more people's lives, especially the people you don't know right now who are praying for a solution that you might just be for them.
Well said.
Take care, everyone. Thanks, Gail.
Bye.